aristocrat. We can talk about the aristocrat.
Hi, welcome to Film Nerds. I'm James, and today I'm joined by Christina and Devin.
AKA BigDev Comedy.
Shameless plug.
AKA BigDev from the group home.
I want to say something, but I'm going to keep my comments to myself.
I know this is recorded, so I can tell on you now.
Well, today's episode, we're going to be having, do something a little different. I guess it's like a round table discussion. Well, mine's the round table.
But they're kindergarten. You don't know the shapes.
God bless you too.
Terrible.
Try to set me up.
The setup is real. The setup is real.
I ain't falling for it, Devin.
You gonna slip.
Almost got me.
We gonna get an edit. If y'all see this video cut out anytime, that's because somebody done shared something they ain't supposed to say.
But today's topic, we could be talking about none other than Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry.
There's been kind of a little controversy around him when he stated that he doesn't use writers in his he doesn't use a writer's room for any of his projects. And I know a lot of folks, especially in the Black community, like you should be using this opportunity to help upcoming Black writers or whatnot, but I'm trying to see what y'all think about it. Well,
You guys.
Ladies first.
I mean, so the beef, if I'm understanding, is people feel like he should be giving more people opportunities since he has this platform as a Black man to have more people. I mean, I don't see what's wrong with that. Like, to put more people on. I mean, a lot of great projects in general are, a collaborative of people coming together. I don't see what the issue is. Yeah.
I see what the issue is, America.
Okay.
So this the issue. You got Mr. Tyler, I makes the money Perry, who is rolling in the dough. Okay? $600 million American dollars. If I just disclaimer, Tyler Perry, if you seen this, I'm on your side. Cut me a check, baby. but so he did have a team of writers at one point.
At one point, yes.
At one point, he did have a team of writers. So the issue at hand is he fired them. He fired them because he got tired of having to re-edit the direction that they were going in that isn't his. Now, my thing is, if I pay you to do plumbing, and you come here, and you tell me you clean my windows, I'm going to have a big problem. Especially if I'm going to have to pay you again to come out here to do something that you did not do.
True.
So he fired these jokers and said, you know what, screw it. I done went from ass shit to classy by my damn self now. So now he fired them and he did the job himself, and I don't see the problem.
I feel like at the grassroots, when he started with his plays and things like that, I understand being the main driving force behind, the direction and everything like that. But when you get to a level, the same thing, when you get to from ashy to classy, as you say, you got to be in that position to kind of alleviate certain pressures on yourself. And yes, like I agree with the general Black consensus of putting people on. I mean, you just said you asked them to cut you a check.
You see, here we go. You see, here we go. People always think, because you see, that's different. That's different, because I'm me and they are them. Don't you start. You're supposed to be sweet and you're supposed to be neutral in this. So this is the issue.
Say so.
This is the issue. So he went from ashy to classy himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you need help putting lotion on?
No.
Okay. Now, if you did want somebody to help you put lotion on, would you want that person to continue to help you put lotion on? They trying to rub you down with sandpaper?
Well, the pencil is though. Just saying.
This supposed to be a family broadcast.
A family broadcast.
And he's
such a time is there.
But no, so the thing is I get it that people want to be put on, but this is Tyler Perry and Hollywood. This ain't Virginian government cheese. It's like, this isn't something that somebody just give you for free.
Right.
Just because you say, oh, I need a little bit of help. This man is worth $600 million.
Right.
He got to be doing something right if he got $600 million. And if you can't get down the line with that, then go build your own studio.
So
easy said it done though, you know?
Yeah.
What you mean?
Like, I mean, everyone can go out and just build their own studio.
Do you know his story?
Yeah. He was broke. No,
He wasn't just broke. He was broke as hell. Let's get this right. Let's get it. Don't sugarcoat. Don't try to cut corners. Broke just means, okay, yeah, I ain't got it till next week. This man didn't have it for a whole decade. Let's make sure we get this right. He was broke as hell. Mr. Tyler Perry, I'm just trying to advocate your story. He was broke as hell. You talk about the same man who went to go put on his first play. Spent his life savings at that time. $12,000, right? Put on a show and was expecting 12,000 people to show up. 30 people showed up. My man said he knew every last one of them jokers. By first name. So that means that wasn't a good crowd, you know what I mean? And then you continuously be broke. You continuously sleep in your car. You continuously, you go into homeless shelters. You know, I'm pretty sure you begging for change, you know, out there with your little cup and everything. And you go on a path to perfect the craft. And it has, that transition has to count for something.
Right.
So now people, right? People that haven't been in his position, haven't got to his platform, and haven't made $600 million American dollar. That's all.
No, that's what.
Oh, fancy. I'll come here complaining, huh?
Go ahead.
You know what? God bless you. God bless you.
There's a lot of blessings going around.
There's a whole lot of blessings. You know what? Mother bless you.
Wow.
You know, for that father bless you as well. So I mean, it's like, it is easier said than done, right? But he did it the hard way. He came about mud. So it was like, they always say that the lion doesn't lose sleep over the opinion of the sheep. So while these people are bang, he is eating his lion chair. So
I mean, I see that, but I can't help but to think, you know, because you come from, we'll call it humble beginnings.
Broke ass beginners, but okay.
That part. But, you know, and not to say that you got to give your time, your energy, and your platform to every, you know, broken, hungry writer out there. But there are people who are the same way. They're grassrooting themselves to a level of, you know, clout that they hit a proverbial wall because, I mean, they are African Americans in a predominantly non-African American society where it's like you're lucky to be the one guy in the room, let alone in the room at all.
You see, so this is where some mess it up for the many, right? Power to the people. This is the month of February, Black History.
Right.
Assalamu alaikum, everything else.
Assalamu alaikum.
And I'm with it. I dig Black people creating Black platforms to help propel other Black people trying to come up. But you're trying to help him illustrate and convey his message, his image. If you have a problem with trying to convey his message and his image, get your ass a different job.
Fair.
See, as a writer and director myself, I kind of see it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
See, the writer in me understands, you know, why, you know, he wouldn't want the other writers, you know, because I myself, I am very picky and particular about how I write my stuff, you know, how I want it and whatnot.
You can write?
I want your short film to get like
use pictures and told me to look and figure it out. That's what you did.
And you figured it out, did you? Did you not?
Who said? Okay.
I'm just a bystander.
But on the other hand, you know, I feel like he really should use writers because I feel like writing. I mean, I could be wrong,
but you are. But okay. Okay, I'm here. I'm listening. I'm here.
Like I feel like writing. I don't think writing is his forte. You know.
And you're basing it off of
his quality of writing to me has never been the best writing. You know, his writing would never like what drew people in. You know, it was the story. Now the story and writing is not really the same. You know, like of course you got to write. You had to write to make the story, but the overall method of the story is totally different from you writing. Like writing your dialogue, you know, setting up the story and whatnot. You know, I feel like that was never his real big forte. And now since he's having all these movies and shows going on one time, you can only, you know, stretch yourself so thin. And I think it's starting to show in the quality of his writing. I feel like right now he really needs writers. You know.
And this is based on what again?
From what I see and what I watched.
Okay.
You know.
Because I know, like, personally, I've never been, like, a huge fan of, like, the Medea series. Like, after I've seen one of them, like, I've had my fill. Meanwhile, his more, I call them more serious stories, like the ones that Medea aren't in. Like, I enjoyed The Family That Prays.
Okay.
Even For Color Girls, though it was a little heavy, I preferred that. Or even Daddy's Little Girls, you know, I could like those kind of films over Medea Goes to Jail. Medea's Halloween. Medea, whatever the fuck else. Excuse me.
And I'm the one that had to sign the waiver that says I was going to watch my language, you know?
I probably should have read that waiver.
Okay, so you basing yours on what you see. And you basing yours on the fact that you had your Sheffield. Well, what I see is $600 million.
Wow.
And what I'm pretty sure he hasn't had his fair share of his share full or whatever you say is of his bank account. Because the thing is, no matter even I look at numbers. He has the number 1, 2, and 3 TV production for Black America. For Black America.
Oh yeah, like I can't like you can't hustle, you know, like.
But that's what y'all are doing.
No, not.
This is the hustle, right? That's what y'all are doing.
So with that analogy, if one could see like, hey, what you're doing is getting you to a level of success.
Okay.
But now that you're at this level, it's kind of just like rappers. Rappers is like, if you made it to a certain level of fame, you talk about the hard knock life you came from and any roughness associated with that. Now that you living in a mansion, got security, you ain't got to fight for your food. One could argue that you're not in that same grit space, right?
Okay.
But you can still have that perspective because that is still your reality. Fast forward to someone like Tyler Perry, is like, okay, you did write great things and they generated the capital that you need to give yourself this platform, and now people want to join on board. Not to say because your machine isn't run well, but it's like all machines need a tune-up, and this tune-up could be the opportunity to put other people on board. It's like it's a dual opportunity. It's like not only will you alleviate the stress that you have as the singular source, if you will, but then you also put other people on. It's like when you might not think about it when you bring your car into the mechanic that you're securing his job by bringing it in. And it doesn't mean there's something wrong with your car, but you want to maintain it running well.
Okay.
Even if it's just perspective, I get that. You know, he had to terminate who he had to terminate. They weren't getting along with his vision, especially if it's costing him more to just maintain. But it doesn't mean that everybody's going to be like that or to ostracize yourself from a place that could cause you to grow.
Yeah, because like it's like this, you know. Was like, as I always said, you know, he has all these shows, he comes up with all these movies, he's writing everything.
Mm-hmm.
How much time and how much quality time do you think he's putting through each script, you know, for each project, you know, and like each series, like for a season you may have what 12, 20, 30 episodes, you know, like 8. I don't know how many shows he has out right now. Probably 3, 4, 5. Like
you got $600 million of shows out.
Yeah, you know. But at one point, you know, you start like he can't be putting that much quality time in each project. There's not that much time in the day, you know, to put out quality project because it's like you have a job, you know. Let's say your job is to paint, you know.
Okay.
You're a painter, and you're a very good painter. Okay. And you may start off with your clients, you know, you may do a painting, like about 2 paintings a week.
So we're talking like paintings that we put on the wall, right?
Yeah, you know.
Okay. Artwork painting.
The artwork painting.
Okay.
You know, like whatnot. But as you get better, as you start growing, you start getting more clients. You know, people want to do more stuff, more whatnot. So, and they expecting you to, you know, turnover and have a fast turnover rate. Like, how fast can you keep turning over quality work? You know, when you have hundreds and thousands of clients. You know,
with that same analogy. So I'm supposed to hire other people? Supposed to hire a bunch of kindergartners that can finger paint?
I'm just saying.
Okay, so this is the thing. If you,
of course, you can hire, you know, just anybody, but you know, there's all other quality people.
I dig what you're saying, but if you're passionate about something, and people are paying for your artistic vision and creation, if it's going straight from your mind to the paper, I think you're cutting out a lot of middlemen. And I feel like the thoughts are getting there. You know what you want to say. You know what you're trying to articulate. So that way you can create, and you know the audience that you're talking to. He did an interview one time, and he was like, he's finishing whole seasons in 2 weeks because they're his thoughts. Because that everything he's talking about the things that he has created, the thing he has created, it came from his mind. So nobody can tell my story better than I can. Especially since I have the creative ideas and I can put them out on the paper.
But just because you have creative ideas doesn't mean your creative ideas are good.
$600 million worth of capital proves that it has to be some kind of good.
Oh, the Transformers any good?
Was it who?
The Transformers movies.
Transformers.
I like the robots.
No, I like the
robots. But that's what I'm gonna give you. That's what I'm gonna give you. I like the robots. Next question.
They made a lot of money.
Okay. Huh? I mean, if you have an audience, right? If you have an audience and it's speaking to an audience, because I feel like the other thing that has to be looked at is you have to know how to connect and talk to who you're talking to. So it's just because something might not be appealing to everybody. If you know that your bread and butter and your audience is a specific somebody, I'm gonna keep aiming at those somebodies.
Oh yeah, I applaud him. Like he definitely knows his audience, and he plays to them very well. You know,
I feel like I've seen examples where even his target audiences questioning like where he's coming from. There was a lot of like uproar with the most recent, Fall from Grace.
Mm-hmm.
People were reading. I mean, and people were fickle.
Which we did a movie review. You can check that out on the channel.
Right, check that out. Shameless plugs again. But yeah, so it was put out there like, hey, this was shot in 5 days, and social media as a whole threw shade like we can tell. You know what I mean?
You can tell that it was shot in 5 days.
Okay.
And like before you go on, I know the issue with the wigs. Those wigs were awful, and he made a statement saying that he don't have time to wait for the wigs. But as a movie maker, pre-production is like because he shot it in 5 days doesn't mean pre-production was 5 days. So you had ample time to make the wigs.
Right, and I hated social media for that because I think about like something like Orange is the New Black. When that first came out, if you look at some of the episodes, I know no shade, I'm not a hair person, but some of the wigs and weave job in that was deplorable. But they were new. There were these two female writers coming together and putting their baby out there, and so it's like coming from for the wigs event doesn't make a big difference for his quality as a writer. But that is kind of what comes into question when it comes to like, okay, when you are mass producing, you still your vision. It's just like now you are trying to compact, the wealth of your mind into, okay, you get a week, you get 2 days, you get a month, and hopefully it comes out just as quality as something that I gave 6 months to a year or more to. And it's just like, I get it, the numbers are like, all right, it's fine, somebody's eating it up. But it's just like, for you, even just as you bring up the thing of quality, passion, working on your craft. It's just like, if your craft is starting to take a wean down, not off of just the strength of what you make, because rump shaker songs make money,
right?
Doesn't mean that the person who, worked their whole life to be a great singer is trash, because they're not.
Right.
But if your quality of work is starting to suffer, one can argue that you need just a team to boost up your standard. Not boost up above what it is, but boost up so you can maintain.
So, say the title of that movie again.
What?
The show A Fall from Grace. So now, Tyler Perry has went on record to say that he writes his scripts so that people can feel and connect with the characters.
Which any script should do. So him saying that is not really easy.
Hold on now. You ain't gonna shoot down Mr. Perry. You ain't gonna shoot down Mr. Perry. Cut me a check, baby. So let me look in the camera when I say this. Y'all complaining about them wigs? Probably got tougher hairstyles sitting at home. At least these people wearing these wigs is making probably 100, 200K an episode. How much you getting paid to wear that ugly wig you got from Georgia? Huh? Okay then. I said it. And I say it again. Y'all up there looking busted and disgusted for free. For free. These wigs, he's trying to have these wigs so he can connect with the consumer. They connected. They is connected.
So we all come together.
Huh? Yeah.
I can't.
But the thing is, he had the money to get and buy and have people make good wigs.
But the thing is the representation. If he's trying to get people to connect to the character, it ain't okay. So what?
You shoot a movie in 5 days. 5 days.
People go to the club.
A whole lot of money.
People go to the club and sleep with somebody after 3 drinks. Don't talk about fast.
I'm not sure how that relates.
It all makes sense. Don't talk about fast. Don't talk about fast. Talk about somebody being cheap. Mr. Dr. Perry ain't being cheap. He being reasonable. He's trying to let people be able to be like, you know what? I got a tough hairstyle too. So that tough hairstyle can be on the screen. Maybe I can do tough. Huh?
His big was kind of tough too.
Okay.
Mr. Perry, if you do cut him a check, this will go down in infamy.
Yeah, cut me a check, baby. I'm ready. I'm bald headed like full moonshine. So hey, look, wig, synthetic, Brazilian, whatever we need to do. I'm down. Hey, we can shoot a movie in 3 days. What you talking about? I got a script. It's about a man that is bald and is trying to up and cup in comedy. We can do something with this, baby. Time to come and check, baby.
Cut your check.
See the sweat. I'm ready for camera.
I can't.
See, I mean, I do understand the whole, writing by yourself. I get it. Because I'm the same way. Like I can't work with a lot of different writers myself because I know
you don't know your vowels.
I know how I want my story to come out. It comes back.
I can't.
I mean, so I get that, as a writer, I am very particular in how. You okay?
He's hurting over here.
It's hard to be able to help and write with somebody when you should who you about. And sometimes
he's weak by his own self.
Just like Tyler Perry reading by himself without these comments. So it's like so.
I'm gonna say something about that. Really nice.
This is my first cousin, so
if you couldn't tell.
I'm gonna be nice. When should the killers call?
Oh, it's ball game.
That's how your mama talk when you act up in church. Which one you get out of these jokes? Start talking through the teeth.
It's ball game.
Your ass is gonna get when you get out there. Praise God. I'm gonna tear your ass up and then Jesus Christ.
In the name.
In the name.
Oh my God.
You must hold out those, huh?
Man, listen.
You had your share.
Man, now you see, we supposed to be talking about Tyler Perry. Now I'm having flashbacks.
Oh,
sorry.
Good God, boy.
But anyways, I mean, as a writer myself, I get that, especially we made no comments back in I think 2008, talking about he had bad experiences with union writers who was pretty much submitting what he thought was bad scripts and just just want to do rewrites in order to get paid a lot more,
right.
And dealing with non-union writers who didn't live up to his standards, and not to throw shade at Mr. Tyler Perry,
Double check, baby.
I like it's not knowing the writers who he dealt with, but for the movies that he put out, like those standards aren't that high, to me, I feel like, because me, I'm like, I've always been a writer first, and I mean that's what I do.
Okay.
Like I put hours, months, even a year into writing a single script.
Okay.
And I probably write at least 2, 3, maybe 4 times.
Okay.
But I don't see Tyler Perry doing that, especially with all the projects that he's.
Because he don't have to. He doesn't have to. How long did it take Noah to build the ark?
How did we get here? I'm trying to understand.
It took some time, right?
Really, a whole lot of time.
How long did it take Jesus to turn water to wine? When you got the glow and when you got the gift, you just got it. Bam, okay, all right, Hennessy's up. Let's go, okay?
Hennessy.
So
that's not what Jesus made.
You don't know? Were you there?
Were you? Go ahead.
If God strikes you dead right now, huh? Let me run away before God strikes you.
So now Jesus turned the water into Henny.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been Ciroc.
It could have been Ciroc. Nice and smooth. There you go.
Well, he was from Nazareth. I think Henny was, would be the greatest.
Right? You can say it.
I can see.
That cognac. Go ahead. Go ahead. Who up here wants some red wine? No, let's go ahead.
You know, choice,
Want some Crown, the apple flavor.
Specifically the apple.
Yeah, just it could be vanilla. I can do the vanilla. Maybe you can't go wrong with Crown either.
You can.
But
wow.
So are you been and you have an issue?
Huh?
Wow. How the
what you saying? All these are your bottles. I just want
all your minds, but anyways, like I guess me personally, I feel like he should have writers, because just on the truth that he is doing a whole lot of stuff, and I like there's no way that he put in quality time in each and every project.
But that was the thing. He said he never said that he wasn't going to use writers, because he says that with the studio there are going to be projects where he is going to have writers. But when it comes to these specific projects that are like specifically connected to his thought process, it's like he's like, yo, I got the 1, 2, and the 3 top spot. It's like you can't argue with those results, but and you can't. I write jokes. Okay. And what? Go ahead. You know what's sad about this? Because usually my first response is your mama, but since his mama is my auntie, and I don't,
and my mom makes you this.
Yeah, and I don't want to get my behind whooped. It's like I'm just gonna say God bless you again.
All the blessings.
All the blessings. But it's you made me lose track of thought. What was I saying?
So you were saying that you write jokes.
Okay, so I write jokes. Okay, so and the thing is like so when I haven't wrote a play. I haven't wrote a movie or anything like that. I write jokes. So I understand that the writing process is a very intimate process, a very personal process. So the thing is like I even kick jokes. I kick jokes to her. My woman Christina, say hi. So I kick jokes to her and she can give me feedback. But we have a level of chemistry too. So I feel like that's another aspect that has to be included, because chemistry is something that has to be present to make any kind of great production. Any kind of great production. You see, the only reason we could laugh this much, this is my first cousin, and he's been hurting my feelings for my whole life.
That's funny because I didn't know you had feelings.
Wow.
There again, he hurt them again. But it's one of those things where it's like sometimes you can just have bad fits, and not just chemistry between the creator and the writer, but even chemistry between the writer and the thesis, or the writer and the production, the writer and the idea. Because I'm not gonna lie, it's like I'm not a bunny lover, you know what I mean? It's like, shout out to the Easter Bunny, but I'm not particularly a fan of rabbits. So if you be like, hey, I got this script about rainbow rabbits that come slide off the rainbow and they dookie out Skittles, it's like, I'm gonna be like, I can't dig this. Don't take my idea, because that might be something. That might be the wave of the future.
It's not gonna be.
You don't know. You don't know.
Skittles thing?
You don't know. Sharknado's thing.
Yeah, point there.
Okay, so like I was saying, don't steal my idea. But the thing is, I can't see myself investing into that. So I feel like that's another thing that people have to look at too. It's like when you look at these particular brands or these particular products or productions that he's putting out, can these writers really love it like it's their own? Because if you can't love it like it's your own, then you cannot write for it.
That is true.
Oh no, all I was going to do is, with that notion, I understand. I mean, I'm not a writer, I am an artist, and my art is on the faces, on the bodies, and it takes a good symmetry, a good chemistry between the photographer, between the stylist, between the hairstylist, for that final product, which is, whatever that image.
And genetics, or some people just ugly.
Genetics.
Can't dress up ugly.
Anyhow. But for that final look, like, this is what I saw in my mind. It does take a level of chemistry. I wouldn't put my vision in somebody else's hand, but I also wouldn't try to take on something more than what is my scope. It's like, I feel like you can have all the vision, all the love, all the passion for something, and still be able to incorporate people as a part of it. And like you said, I do agree. If they are not performing at a level that is conducive with what your vision is, then I mean, yes, you make adjustments. And nobody's saying just to hire, Joe Blow off the street. But like I said, I agree with that notion. It's all about that level of symmetry and chemistry. I like that word. But I guess that's the people, we're not getting all of that from it. It's like it seems like it's very yes or no. It's not like no for this, but yes for this. I feel like that's kind of what's missing. And I mean, that's what happens with media. It's, we get to one thing and we get fired up about it. But I think that I didn't know that part, that it was just particular projects that he was kind of like, I'm just going to stick with my formula of just me. And future projects, of course, will be room for others.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that it would be a foolish notion to try to manhandle everything yourself. I think we have too many examples of one person trying to dictate and control something and trying to make it great when it's like you might need some outside help. Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones.
Smoothly slid that in there, didn't you?
But
they got another Cowboys fan.
They got another Cowboys fan. I don't even want to say who I'm a fan of because I know I'm gonna get backlash.
Wow.
Oh, I said it.
Don't you talk about my Buccaneers. Don't you talk about, we gonna make it to the Super Bowl eventually.
Keep hope alive.
Eventually, we gonna make it one day.
Me and Tommy should go back in time.
I might be dead and gone, but that's all right.
Keep hope alive.
My spirit gonna be Raymond J. Stadium. When they do go.
The spirit just gonna be singing like, finally, baby.
Finally.
We made it, baby.
1,000 years later.
Grandchildren looking like, hey, granddaddy, show us a thing.
I'm telling you, Ghost is chilling up there. But I think a lot of people, I can understand people you can have people that are disappointed. I feel like the thing is, and all of us being in a level of the artistry realm, and all three of us being in the realm of the creative genius realm and the showmanship realm, can understand that you'll hear a lot more of the negative opinions get all the attention.
Oh yeah.
Negative opinions get all the attention. The positive outlooks, you know what I'm saying, are what pays the bills. You don't want to talk about that $600 million, but people want to talk about these $3 wigs. But it's like, if you that unhappy, find something else to watch.
That's fine.
It's like, find something else to watch. Because while y'all are watching to find something to complain, and he's just watching them dollars add up in that bank account. Tyler Perry cut your boy a check.
The shameless plug. God, I can't.
So, how y'all feel about feel about the the quality of his projects? You know, like I know a lot of his movies tend to have play towards the whole lot of old stereotypes of what black people used to be, or what we are accustomed to seeing. You know, like with the Medea stuff, like you have the Big Mama type, characters or whatnot. So, how y'all really feel about the quality of his stuff that he does for that?
Man. So, as I shared earlier, I've seen one Medea film. I'm good. I understand that there is a level of comedy, a level of stereotypes within comedy that is relatable, that is marketable, that makes money, obviously. Not personally a fan, but I will say, based on someone who enjoys film in general, that they are like put together well. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they convey their intention. I feel like sometimes the message is a little bit harder to get over all the satire and the stereotypes and the shucking and the jiving. So that's why I can't really get with it. And I tend to like what I call the more deeper storylines that don't involve Medea. And this is just as someone who enjoys film as a consumer. So it's like a 50-50 split of how I feel about it. It's like I feel like, that was a good film. I feel like it was a different perspective, or it was enough of the stereotype where you feel like it was relatable without feeling like you were kind of being poked fun of. And I don't knock the poke fun of. I don't knock satire and the use of stereotypes, because it is relatable. It's just sometimes you do feel like it's so saturated that you do have these moments. Like, I work in a predominantly, white office, and there's, I've got a coworker who looks forward to all the Medea updates, and I kind of shy back because I'm like, is this what she perceives? This is what traditional Black people are like. And it's like, understand, honey, this is a joke. This isn't our reality. But for someone who doesn't live that life and probably wouldn't take the time to learn anymore, that is the reality. And so you do kind of ride this fine line of like, is this okay to keep churning this out and not balance it out? That's all I'm saying. Not even saying to cut it off because it works, but balance it out so it's not so much, so saturated. That's my opinion on it.
My opinion on it, it makes $600 million. And, okay, so seriously, it's like a lot of Black theater feeds off of stereotypes. A lot is like, Tyler Perry isn't the first nor the last creative genius to target an audience. And majority of Black films, not all, but majority of Black films fit stereotypes. We fall in love with the drug dealers, the killers, even when you think about some of our romances, you think about Love and Basketball, it's Black kids bonding over a game that's stereotypically geared towards Black people. So what I do applaud is the fact that these movies are Black-based with a predominantly Black cast in a Black studio. And I feel like that, to me, is the more important thing. Because the thing is, when you sit there and you think about Tyler Perry and his broke-ass beginnings, cut me a check, baby, because I'm just advocating your story. When you think about his broke-ass beginnings, nobody would have thought that a man that used his life savings at one time in the early 90s, pretty much 2.5 decades later, would be worth 600 million American dollars. So the thing is, while there's ridicule coming, we don't know what else he has down the pipeline.
True.
You see, because it's obvious that he's a visionary in his own right. So, being a visionary, you're looking at things that you're looking so far ahead, most people can't comprehend it right now. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, you told what, 50,000 acres of studio? You know, it's like everybody was laughing at the man that was cross-dressing. But now he has 50,000 acres that supply 400 jobs to the people of Atlanta. Over 400 jobs to the people of Atlanta. So, the quality, I feel like it generates revenue. I feel like the quality potentially could cut BigDev Comedy a check. Because I'm supporting the cause, baby. I'm supporting the cause, baby. You see where you gotta get in contact with me, Mr. Perry. But people, there's nothing you want to decide. And you can't reinvent the wheel. Right? So it's like, if it works, and if it generates revenue, it's going to work. You can ask anybody that has complained about anything that he's done. Anybody. If they were in a position where something that they repeatedly did made them $600 million, would they continue to do it? Now, can it evolve? Can it turn into something else? Of course it can. But there again, though, that $12,000 play turned into a $600 million empire. So it's like, somewhere along the way, somebody got the ingredients right in the Kool-Aid.
See, like,
you don't have the answers, James. You don't have no damn answers.
Neither this way, but see, I just feel like, I mean, like I love what he did. You know, like no one can knock the guy for that. You know, like I applaud him for, you know, turning nothing into something, and you know, being the first black anybody to own a major studio. You know, like for that, like you can't take that away from him. You know, the only thing that I am a little disappointed about is the fact that instead of him, or it feels like instead of him doing stuff to uplift black people, it feels like a lot of this stuff is just poking fun at black people and using his black audience, mostly mothers, you know, to profit off of, you know, because with the Medeas and even some of his other projects, stuff that like Acrimony and Temptation, it kind of plays towards the female audience, you know, and the whole soap opera type dramas.
Hold on. Don't you talk about Temptations, baby. The good black man finally won in Temptations. You see, look, I'm going to tell y'all this, Dad, in the camera. Take Temptations as a lesson. What?
It's Temptation.
Take Temptations as a lesson. Understand. You find you a decent man who wants to stand by you, and you stand by him. Don't be tempted over the $40. No matter how many times the $40 multiplied.
The $40?
Yeah, the $40. Y'all know the $40. I ain't got to even explain the $40. Y'all know the $40. You see, she got tempted by the $40 that was multiplied by $1 million. So now that $40 is looking like 40 million, and she's on a plane, and whoop, she gets bust upside the head with AIDS. It's like
Sorry.
What?
What happened?
Boop, she gets bust upside the head with AIDS.
Because that's how it works.
That's exactly how it works. Yeah. And it's like, and the thing is, it's like, it was a message in it. You see, the thing is, it's like, you have yet to see a Tyler Perry movie that ended in a digressive way towards the culture. You can't name one. I can't speak on the acrimony one, but I know head finance Taraji P. Taraji, I know you about to get married, but baby, I've been having a crush on you for a long time. Since it was hard out there for a pimp and before that. So I just want to put that out there too, baby. If things don't work out.
Come on, man.
What?
Huh?
I cannot. So that means that Terrence is watching, he's talking so fast over here.
You mean Lucius? You know that's how black folk we do.
Lucius won.
I can't tell you too many names. I can tell you the five females that I adore, but it's like, but what's his name? What you say?
Terrence.
That's Lucius.
Yeah.
That's Lucius. Lucius or DJ. But the stereotypes always end with a good lesson. He always ends it on a good lesson.
I mean, that's been his intention since the play.
It has. Mm-hmm. Tyler Perry is the adult version of Sesame Street. No matter what you get, we're going to end with the letter of the day, and the letter of the day is positive, and that's the note we're going to sunny day, and then we're going to do it all over again.
Even though I have to digress from that a little bit, I feel like A Fall from Grace may be an exception.
Is it over?
Huh?
Is it over?
Well, A Fall from Grace?
Yeah.
It was a movie.
Is it over? But yeah. So there's no more?
No more.
Okay, so did it end bad?
See, the reason why I say this, because, okay, the whole movie, it kind of plays up the whole, the middle-aged woman can't find new love.
Okay.
You know, like the whole time, you know, her ex-husband leaves her for a younger woman, and it kind of plays on the whole fear of, I'm getting old now.
Okay.
And this young guy comes in who wants her, you know, and treats her right.
Okay.
And now she got herself feeling all good about herself. And only for him to pull the rug out and say, oh, I'm only calling you. You know, I felt that was kind of like a little negative message towards that middle-aged woman.
It's not a negative message.
You know, I'm not a middle-aged woman, but even I guess I can kind of appreciate that storyline as a reality. You know, I feel like, look, I don't want to seem like I'm contradicting myself. I don't super love a lot of the stereotypes. I don't. But I cannot knock that he does have an underlying message in even the most seemingly ridiculous ways. So even if that is just, you know, I can see like a message of self-worth and have an understanding of self to prevent yourself being kind of conned, and not to say that, you know, however that storyline goes, that he wasn't wrong for doing that. You know, you have to be that level of awareness so you won't find yourself in that rut, like so driven by maybe a level of bitterness or uneasiness that you fall into that. But I agree with Dev. You know, you might find yourself in a position where it's like, that was a whole lot of ridiculousness. But at the root of it, you know, family comes first, or love yourself first, or, you know, kind of empowering the Black dynamic that we don't see enough of.
And the simple fact that most middle-aged women can see themselves in that wig. So the message is, if you stop wearing these tough wigs and hairstyle, you can keep a man. So y'all should be thanking Tyler. He trying to get y'all the game, baby.
The game is not buy bad wigs.
Yeah, go ahead and spend that money on that good wig.
And get you a good
or just go natural, baby. Natural hair is beautiful.
Natural hair is beautiful.
If you don't got no edges, just go ahead and just you know, you might want to plaster you some hair out there.
Plaster?
You know, you might want to just go ahead and just, you know, go get that good Brazilian, you know, and praise God. And get it professionally installed, though. Don't do it yourselves. I've seen a lot of y'all up there trying to, you know what I'm saying, DIY and just look in UGLY, you know what I mean? So,
no, how they do
so yeah. In the words of Medea, hello.
Hallelujah.
What? You know what you were signing up for. You know what you do what you were signing up for. Hello.
Lord have mercy.
I don't know what to say.
Because you don't got the answer, Jane. You don't have the answer, Jane.
Lord have mercy.
But I do know this though, you know. I just not really hope, but I do hope and kind of want him to, like, moving forward, to start doing more. I guess I want to see more quality, you know, and from get away from the non-traditional Tyler Perry stuff, you know, the whole cliche and stereotypes that he's kind of known for, you know. I mean, I get, you know, you got to do what you got to do to make it, you know. I understand that, you know, like, it wasn't made of rich, you know. But on the same token, you know, you do have to evolve and step your game up, you know. And I just feel like, you know, he's now at the stage where I feel like he really should focus on, you know.
And you know, I'm sure Dev will elaborate to say that maybe that's what's coming down the pipeline. Like, I can't help but to think, you know, I'm a big movie and TV show kind of person, and there's a series on Netflix called White People, and they allude to a character like Tyler Perry, and the main character, she's a writer, filmmaker herself. And she's got beef with him. It's like all this, you know, corny stuff. He's got this character called like Mr. Schmitty, I think it is, which is reminiscent to the Medea. So anyway, she gets a chance to really talk with him, and he's like, you know, don't fault me for making money off of this. This is the people who are supporting me. They are enjoying this. Doesn't mean that this is all that I am. And he, you know, that particular character alludes to having a more serious thing, to having a better perspective as a writer, that he can give that one-on-one realness with up-and-coming writers that are like him. And I feel like that really gives a level of insight to who, you know, the Tyler Perry that we don't get to see is. You know, he's still a man. Hallelujah, he's a black man working his way through his success literally from the bottom up. So we don't know all that is yet to blossom now that he's made it to that platform. We don't know what he's written down in his vision diary that's like, by this time or by this stage, now I can release this. And, you know, I think that's what we want as people. I feel like that's what your perspective is. I feel like that's kind of what mine is as well. It's just like, I want to see more of that. I feel like I got a taste of it with certain films. And if you're not going to exhaust yourself with everything that you're doing, because that is powerful, then look forward to seeing that side, less of the satire and more of your depth.
Like, I do enjoy the Temptations, that little girl, the four color girls, whatnot.
Totally forgot.
And ideally the Fall from Grace type stuff, but I feel like, well, especially with Fall from Grace, like I said earlier, we did a review on this one, and my problem was I was liking it up to towards the end where he threw all this plot twists in, and I felt like he was trying to be too ambitious for it, and I felt like he kind of needed at least another writer or at least someone to say, hey,
that's too much.
Yeah, I think you need to pull it back a little bit. Like I get what he's trying to do. You know, I just felt like, you know, him trying to surprise the audience, he kind of ruined the movie. You know, because every movie doesn't need a plot twist. You know,
it's a twist. Shout out if anybody knows who that is, and you get the reference.
You know, so I do enjoy those movies that he does try to do, but at the same token, I just want to see more quality in those projects. You know, because acrimony was it. You know,
I haven't seen acrimony.
I think one of the biggest problems in the Tyler Perry discussion is understanding that when it comes to the arts, when he first burst onto the scene, something like like Medea was new.
Sure.
This the style of character to a degree was new. Ish talking, you know, boisterous, strong, woman who, at one time, Medea was a stripper, but was very much proud to say so. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. The thing is like, I feel like as you have a situation where either the artist matures and then the audience matures, mm-hmm. or the audience matures and then the artist matures. Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of the plot twists are an attempt to see what sticks. Mm-hmm. Because there again, all three of us sitting at this table are artistic visionaries. We have our own preference of art. We have modeling and makeup. We have directing and writing, and we have jokes. And the thing is, with the art form, you do have to get to a point where you just try it. Mm-hmm. And everybody's not going to agree with what you try. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it takes some fine tweaking on what you try. Mm-hmm. Thing is, he has $600 million to back up his attempt. You see how all this goes back? But no.
It all comes from him.
But on a serious note, it's like, I feel like if you switch directions too fast, you lose the foundation. Now, it's, if you want to build a house, I think what you need 6 feet worth of foundation. You have to dig in within 6 feet. Now, if you want to build a skyscraper, you're talking about almost a building that goes as far down as it does up, as far as a stable foundation. So the thing is like, I really do feel like in a situation like this, you get people, for lack of better terms, hooked, mm-hmm. and you get a core audience, mm-hmm. and you listen. It's like there's nobody who's in the artistic realm that doesn't at least hear what people say, mm-hmm. and then from that can spawn new directions and new ideas. But the one thing we do know is that you have to have something to be able to fund the new ideas, mm-hmm. and you have to have something to fall back on, because if you put all your eggs in a new direction and it doesn't work out, then you might just be stuck out there in no man's land. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, so I got these ideas, I got these concepts, I got this direction, I got this fan base. Mm-hmm. Okay, now I'm gonna throw this into it, because Acrimony is way different than Medea. Right? What was the one where he acted and he was like, and the gates of hell won't stop. You know what I'm talking about, the action movie he did.
Mr.
Alex Cross?
Alex Cross. Yeah, where the dude killed his family and then they were just going back and forth the whole movie and stuff like that. That was a different direction. And
that wasn't his movie though. But
yeah, it was just him and
it. Well, and we had a chance to react to it though. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure he was like, how would they react to Tyler Perry, the action star? Not as Tyler Perry, Medea, or Tyler Perry.
Too well.
For the record, Mr. Perry, that was him. Cut the check, baby. Cut the check, baby. Got you, baby. You know, hey, I could be Alex Cross' little brother. You know, Chris Cross. You dig what I'm saying? You know, huh?
I see what he did there.
I hope you choke on the chicken nugget. You want this? You don't want this chicken nugget?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I coughed on him.
Hey, God made Jones.
Yeah, he made you, right? Damn, John.
Wow, so much family love happening here.
Bless you, James.
God bless you too.
But I think we're at a point where you gotta find people you can trust. Mm-hmm. And you gotta find, and the thing is like when you look, the hard thing about media is everybody wants to feel like they're done wrong. Everybody wants an audience. Mm-hmm. So it's like, we'll never know what really happened in those writers' room. Mm-hmm. We'll never know, whatever. We'll just hear people's side of the story. And it's like, and so we'll never know what truly is there. But we do know that this man has a level of genius, mm-hmm. has a level of vision. has a level of direction, a level of foresight, because he saw this way before. The man was sitting in the car. You know what I'm saying? He's probably washing up, you rubbing the air freshener on him, hoping that, like, you know what I'm saying?
Rubbing the air freshener?
Yeah, you know, it's like, you know, it's a familiar scent. You know, you go to an audition, you smell like black. I was like, I know that smell. Okay.
Can't stand you.
What's that fragrance?
Yeah.
My new car.
Yeah.
Who made that? O'Reilly. Oh, you can sing too. Gotcha. You know.
Lord help.
Hey, look, y'all like this, so I can get so the BigDev come and get a repeat. You know what I'm saying? And Tina's touch, but I do feel like we don't know, and I do feel like that's the beauty of being in the situation. As a consumer, we don't know what's coming down the pipeline. What we do know is that $600 million American dollars, and not to mention $1 billion worth of ticket sales. You cannot knock it.
No, you can't.
You cannot knock it.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing something right.
You gotta be doing something right.
Gotta be doing something.
You know?
But
I hope he does cut you a check.
I know, right? It's like I'm rooting for it.
Man, I be in Atlanta so damn fast. Ugly ass wig and everything.
You gotta come back.
Huh?
You gotta come back.
When?
Your daughter's up here. You can't come back.
I can move her down there too. She be having an ugly wig on too.
I'm the baby suffering too. Yeah.
That is a girl part too. And my baby with one of them tough ass tongue pull bowl cuts.
I need the bowl cut. Jeez.
I've been had the Freddie D, I'm bald as hell, got the Freddie D with the pot and everything. But you know, you gotta spice it up. Have it faded on the side with a jerry curl in the back.
Why? Just to make it feel.
I'm telling you, boy. Pro black in the front, party in the back. You dig what I'm saying? Like a mother.
I can't.
And just breezy on the sides. The fade is for circulation. You know,
It's got
AC purposes. You know what I mean?
Whole lot of something.
I'm telling you, man.
With that said, it was nice having y'all on the podcast, the show, podcast / show, / film nerds, /
Pod show.
Nope, not a thing.
Pod show.
Pod show.
I think we can get a training,
Yeah, pod show. Hashtag pod show.
Yeah.
Hashtag cut the check.
Hashtag don't entertain his foolishness.
Hashtag Freddie D in the front. Fade on the side. With the body in the back.
That's a long hashtag. We're not encouraging this.
I can see it now on my post.
See, and that's why y'all don't need to be hanging out, because it's just foolishness begat.
But anyways, it was good having you up here.
It's a pleasure.
We're gonna do this again.
Oh yeah, can we shout out our social medias?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
All right. I am hashtag Top Model Tina from my model page and Tina's Touch _MUA on Instagram.
And if you looking for your boy,
no one's looking for you.
Shut up. If you looking for your boy, all you gotta do is go on the list. What the hell just happened? Moving recording ass, man.
Stop automatically.
Oh, you should stop it. You said you're too ugly.
Dang.
So I couldn't even shout out myself.
Oh,
This is cahoots. You did this on purpose. You got a remote.
But to be honest with you, Doug, you're wearing the shirt.
About recording?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Let me get back to my seat.
Yeah, sit your ass down.
Disrespectful.
So disrespectful.
Now they send his black ass back down. So if you looking for your boy,
No one's looking for you.
yeah, you shut up, Sam. If you looking for your boy, all you read the shirt is Big Dev Comedy. You can find me Big Dev Comedy on Facebook. You can find me at Big Dev Comedy on Instagram. You can look me up by my government, Devin Roberts. You know what I'm saying?
Dennis Robbins?
Well, yeah, that's all you got to do. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is you could just make a cutout of a fat man with a big belly and put a light under it. You know what I'm saying? You know how Batman got a symbol? Fat man got a symbol. I got you, baby. I'm on the way. I got foolishness for days. I've been foolish since I was born. I do it all. Bar mitzvahs, l'chaim, you know, I step up. Assalamu alaikum. I speak Muslim.
You speak
You know
Muslim.
what I'm saying? Holla at your muchacho Spanish. I do that too. You know what I'm saying? Konnichiwa. Asian of some sort. I do it all. You know, I speak Russian, and Bunila. I do it all. Whatever you need, but it's your boy Big Dev Comedy. Like I said, Big Dev on Facebook, Big Dev _ comedy on Instagram. Your boy Big Dev from the group home, baby.
You finished?
I mean, I could do this like a rep for I like to thank y'all. We can do this like an award ceremony. You know, my mama, you know, I made it on social media America. Your boy made it on a podcast. Social media America. Your boy made it on a podcast, baby.
It might be his last one too.
Oh.
Hey, they won't let me be great. Just want to be.
You and your boy Trump.
Ooh.
Hold up, don't you know, shit. See, I don't even talk politics, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, it's like we got a president with a kindergarten education, and it's like, you know, and he can't even figure out the circle going inside the square hole, and it's like, and this is who y'all, now, you know what, you know, Big Dev Comedy on Facebook and Instagram. I just know I lost all the Republican
I'm pretty sure no Republicans looking at this anyway. So, with that said, I'm James, Deputy Fifth Nuts, and all the Instagram stuff will be in the description below. And also, like always, like, subscribe, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and check out Dream Cloud Films. That's where we post all our short films at. This guy right here, he been on a couple of them. Mm-hmm. But you can find the video over here. And until then, we'll see you next time. I have no idea what he's doing.